Is that an instance? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, bitch. Girl, yeah, I got my incense going.
Yeah.
Whenever I record outside, because I'm in my, I mean, like you can see me, but for those that are listening, I've been recording on my patio, and not just my podcast, even the stuff that we do with Black Creative Circle. I'm usually outside. One, my office is never clean. Two, I mean, it's pretty outside. And three, normally when we do stuff with the Black Creative Circle of North Louisiana, it's usually at a time when my husband is home and my dog is out. And so I don't want him, like, I could easily be like, babe, can you go in the room? I need to have a meeting. I need to do this workshop or, host this creative convo or whatever. But like, if he's been working all day and he just want to chill and relax, I'll just be like, I'll just go outside and let him and the dog run around the house or whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to inconvenience him.
I'm sure like y'all have seen other recordings where like you see a tail and a ball go running by, or you hear my husband yelling or whatever. But anyway, I'm out here with my incense though. Long story short, I'm out here with my incense. And girl, they got some nice ones at Walmart now. The premium, if you're watching, I'm putting it up on the screen, but the premium collection in these little tubes, and it's like 40 sticks.
Okay.
This is sage and citrus. Yes, sage and citrus.
I'll have to see. I usually go for that Nag Champa or Super Hit, which is like my favorites.
The what?
Like, it's called Super Hit or Nag Champa, and then I like Palo Santo, but I like the actual stick of Palo, which is dope.
I don't know what that is. I go for lavender. I go for cactus flower, stuff like that. But I'm really into the wax burners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do a lot of those in the house. But yeah, girl, I got my incense out here rolling. And you are listening to a Daydreamers podcast. I am the Daydreamer, Erin Davenport, and I have my girlfriend Kayshauna. She's not a stranger to the show. She's been on here before. But I got my girl here today because like I just miss you and I needed to record a show. Like I talked to you the other day and you were just like, so when's the next episode? And I was like, girl, let me go ahead and do this. What you doing? Come on the show, girl. I miss you.
People be waiting. Like I be waiting trying to see,
Really?
I look forward. Yeah, I look forward.
It's so funny because I still, even when I'm on the radio, when somebody says, oh, I heard you the other day, and I'm just like, you did? It's still weird to me that people hear me on the radio or they listen to my podcast. And I know people listen to my podcast, but it's like, you look forward to what I have to my show and want to know about what I talk about and me yelling at my dog in the background. I just had to put his ass in the kennel. But it's like, you want to know about that?
It's mad entertaining. And like, you do dope ass topics and you have dope ass guests. But
present guest included. Thank you. But girl, what's been popping? What's been happening? How'd you spend your morning? What was this? Normally, and you know what's funny? Me and Kayshauna Hall Davis, usually talk to each other at like 6 a.m. on Saturdays. Like we some old women.
Because we are. Oh my God, girl, let me tell you. So yesterday morning, I was up early and I was FaceTiming my little brother, and I was just looking and I was listening to music, and I looked down and I'm like, I'm in this silk robe. I call it the Waiting to Exhale robe, and I'm listening to like the Isley Brothers on my record player, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm old. Is that what this is? Like I'm up here like drinking a smoothie and like wrapped up.
Wow, girl, my grandmother, my heavenly grandmother, Mary Louise, she be all in my spirit. She's been gone for like 2-3 years now, but I promise you, I get up in the morning, I come outside, and I let Ragnar out to go handle his business, and I'm just all in my potted plants, in my robe. Do I have drawers on? Maybe, maybe not. Have my coffee. I'll be sitting out here on my patio, just looking at them, talking to my plants. Girl, Mary Louise is all in my spirit in the morning.
And it's just a crept up. You know what I mean? Like you just look up one day and you in a kimono robe listening to the Isley Brothers, and like I was literally talking to him about like how to find volume. You're talking about math, and you're lecturing somebody about schoolwork. And I'm like, when did this happen? Like when did this become the adult in the situation? Like
right. Right. When is this me? Speaking of, girl, okay. So I talked to all of my siblings this week. And this may sound weird because I think you probably only know about my brother Evan. That's with my mom.
Yeah.
But my dad has kids. I'm the oldest of his kids and the oldest of my mom. My mom just has me and my brother. My dad has 4 total. And I'm really happy. Like, I talked to all of them this week, and that doesn't happen. Like, we didn't grow up together. If you listen to the show, you already know my dad was not in my life. He had other children. He was not in their life as well. And we were different parts of the United States. So we did not grow up together. We knew of each other. But yeah, and so there's one that's right up under me. He's 5 years younger than me. And then my sister, my 2 younger siblings have the same mom. She is 9 years younger than me. And then the youngest, he is 12, 13 years younger than me. He's probably like 22 or something like that. I think they're 3 years. But anyway, but just slightly, and like me and the younger one, we have a pretty decent relationship. Like the last time I saw my youngest brother was at my wedding in 2016. Prior to that, the last time I saw him and my sister, because like I said, the youngest ones have the same mom. I was 21. I'm 35. I was 21. And their mom invited me up to, they live in Minnesota, Farmington, I think. But they're in Minnesota. And she invited me up for a week. I was 21. Prior to that, the last time I saw them was when I was 16 at my dad's funeral. And that was my first time seeing them.
Did y'all know about each other like prior to your dad passing?
Did we what?
Did y'all know about each other prior to your
Like
dad?
we all knew about each other. I knew I had siblings. I didn't know them. I had never met them. Hadn't seen pictures of them. Like I said, the first time I saw the 2 younger siblings was when I was 10th grade, basically. And that's when my dad passed away. And I met them. My little brother was probably like 3 or something. Like, I doubt he even remembers. He was so little. And my sister, she was old enough to know what was going on. She's probably like 6 or something. So, and then the one right up under me that's 5 years younger than me, we've never met before. And I only remember us talking on the phone one time. I'm not saying that we didn't talk before because I have pictures of him when he was little. Like, you know how you had them little T-ball pictures and stuff like that. Yeah. I have a picture of him when he used to play hockey, and it was one of those type of team pictures. And so I know there was communication, but I only remember talking to him one time, and I was either in high school or college, something like that. Probably was college, but up until this week, like I said, I'm 35 now. This is our second time talking on the phone. He's not really active on social. My sister isn't active on social either. But me and the younger one, we talk quite often. Him and his mom came to my wedding and stuff. And I even invited my brother that was right up under me, him and his mom. And when I talked to him, like, this is our first time talking in years, I was talking mad shit. I was like, you wrong for that. He was like, you really gonna call me and fuss me? I sure am. I'm not how I am with my siblings, even though we didn't grow up together. Like, I'm not finna be, hey, I'm your sister, we family. And I thought about like approaching the ones I don't talk to often tenderly, but I was like, that ain't you. So my brother, I messaged him on Facebook and I was like, wipe the crust out of your eyes and call me. I gotta tell you something. I'm not approaching you tenderly. This is me, like, we siblings. I gotta tell you something. You need to call me back. My sister, I called her, left a voicemail, and I was like, hey, babe. Like, we knew each other and had seen each other before, so I was a little more tender with her. But I was like, hey, babe, give me a call. I got something I gotta tell you, like, hit me up. Left it at that. But I talked to all of them, and it was so good. Like, me and the younger one, we talked. Good. And so it was just, good to hear his voice again and everything. Nothing out of the ordinary. But my sister hadn't heard her voice in years. Oh. And she was so happy when she called me back. She was like, oh my God. She called me back like 3 days later. She was like, I just got the voicemail. Like, oh my God. hey, and I was like, hey, babe, what's up? What's the deal? What's going on with you? And she was just so excited. And it felt good for her to be excited to want to hear from me. But then also I was like, girl, you should have been calling your sister. And I told all of my siblings, not really the younger one, but the other two, I was like, we need to stay in touch. We can't let other people's actions and how they live their life, referring to our dad, determine our future and our relationship.
That's
And
totally true.
I talked to them and I told them some things that were going on in my life. And I was like, I'm guilty too. So I was roasting the hell out of my brother. But I was like, I'm a little guilty too. But at the same time, I've reached out to you and you didn't respond to me. So what's up with that? I ain't do nothing to you. You could respond. You know what I'm saying? I invited you to my wedding and your mama. I ain't got no problem with none of y'all ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, what's up? I'm getting married. Let's do this thing. Like, whatever happened was years ago between our father and our mothers and stuff. And honestly, I feel like my brother and the two younger siblings, I feel like they mamas might have had some issues, but my mama was so far out the way. It was like
They probably did, but like as adults, like that really don't have nothing to do with y'all.
right.
That ain't got nothing
Like
to
I
do with
said,
y'all.
my two younger siblings, their mother and my dad were actually married and stuff. And I reached out to them when I was younger, and she reached out and invited me to their home when they were older and stuff. So it's like it's. I'm not saying there's no issue, but I think years had passed and stuff. But still, I'm in this thing. I'm the shit, and I ain't doing none of y'all. So, But anyway, all that to say, I talked to them, and it was so good, and it's just crazy. I told my husband, I talked to my sister, and he was like, "Your sister? This is a sister I don't know about." And I said, "Well, I've mentioned her before." I said, her and Xander, my youngest brother. I said their mom, they have the same mom. So you've heard me talk about her, but you just never really heard me talk about her. And then I told him when I talked to my brother, he was like, your brother? I said, yeah, the one right up under me. He was like, oh. I said, yeah. I got siblings. He just knows of the youngest one because that's the one I connect with the most and stuff. But yeah, but they were all like, I told them the stuff I had going on. They were like, well, I need to come down here. I need to come see you. And I'm like, well, you do. And I need to come see you too. It's both ways. But I'm like, you do. You shouldn't have stayed away from us. The one up under me, you should never stayed away. I reached out to you a lot of times. My youngest brother has reached out to you a lot of times. We ain't do nothing to you. What's up with that?
Well, a lot of times, when you're younger and certain things are ingrained in you, and also you don't know what you was told or whatever. But again, as adults, you're supposed to be able to make your own decisions. But I can kind of see where she would be leery, I guess, whatever. But I think this is a really good time to reach out to people that you haven't been reaching out to, because all you have now, I'm not going to say all you have is time, because
you really don't.
Some people still got to go to work. But like
our only link is our dad, who was not in our life and also died when I was 15. So they were kids. They were 10, 6, and 3. You know what I'm saying? So, that's our only link, but it ain't really no link at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, girl, yeah. Long story short, I talked to my siblings.
Well, it's good though. It's good. It's always good to reconnect with family, especially on a positive note. And it's not at a funeral, because that's usually
when everything happens.
Yeah. So
Did you have other siblings with your dad? I know you have siblings with your mom.
And they're all like adults. Like I didn't meet them until I was an adult, and both of them are way older than me. I'm still in contact with my brother, who is awesome. He's awesome. My sister, I don't exist. So yeah, like she's very what's the word? Sanctified.
Out of here.
So I posted something. Huh?
Because you have crystals? That's why she on food?
No, she didn't know me like being or whatever, but I posted something. It was like for Pride or something like that. This was a long time ago. This was before I even got married. This had to be like 7-8 years ago, something like that. I don't know. Whatever it was, somebody was like condemning people to hell or whatever, and I was like, basically like leave them alone, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I'm pro everybody and pro everything. So she didn't really care for that, and I guess whatever, she didn't really care for it. She like blasphemed me to hell, and
Girl,
all
get
my
out of here, because you said people should live their life how they want to. Unless you out here for adults, unless you out here messing with kids.
That's it. That's it. If you grown, they grown, you
Unless
say
you
yes,
out
and they
here,
say yes.
can't be
That
out
ain't none of my
here
business.
eating people. You can't do no cannibalism type shit. Stuff like that. No. But
Right.
because you said live your life how you want to live, girl, get out of
It
here.
was like her and one of her church friends, and they were just like, nah. It was via Facebook. It was crazy. And I'm just like, y'all, you doing the absolute most. But anyway, she basically disowned me at my. We went to the funeral, and it's like I wasn't there.
Okay.
That was a whole big ordeal as well. Just the whole my dad
Your dad
passing.
passed away when you were an adult.
Yes, this was like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I never had to. You don't ever. Nobody practices how to do a funeral. So we'll say that. And there's also like not a life skills class on like, okay, this is what you do when your parents die. Okay, like that.
Didn't you have to be like the big sibling with that, like the older sibling, and take care of arrangements and stuff?
I did because my brother didn't want to come, and that was fine. I respected that, and it was just considering the amount of mess that there was over it from people that I had never met in my life who like it was really bad. It was just really bad. He didn't want to be involved, and I get it because it was a lot of mess, and it was just it's funny how people act when they think somebody got something.
Girl,
I'm gonna just say that they go, woo, they go.
Told me, my dad, he took care of us to an extent in his afterlife. He made sure that we were set up nicely. Now he left trust and all that type of stuff. I'm talking about actual trust, in the hands of people who weren't educated enough to have that type of complicated. And it was because it wasn't like no just little thing. He was military, and I don't know the details. I know it wasn't your average trust and stuff. It was like well researched and complicated and this and that, and it was really from what I remember, it was really good. But like you left it in the hands of people who weren't educated enough to take care of that type of stuff. So you took care of us, but you also didn't, because if anybody got screwed, it was me, because I was 15 when he died. So I mean, like, but anyway. He was at I was able to get some things, and some needs were met, and I'm thankful for that he thought about me. I always knew he loved me, but you got a funny way of showing it. But in the end, it was like, really, dude, damn, still fucking up.
His was like because he was military too, so that's why they thought there was just like this amazing giant pile of money or whatever to get. My father was not a rich man. He worked with his hands. He was very talented, very awesome, but he didn't do a lot of business things. So there wasn't anything. That also complicated things because there was no documentation or anything like that. And he was older. He was in Vietnam. He was a Vietnam vet. Yeah, he was older. It just anytime people think you got something or it's something to get, people. I've never heard from any of these people before in my life.
Like when he left me, my mom was like, "Don't tell anybody, because you'll be surprised of who loves you, who wants to be your friend, who has an interest in your life because they think you have something." And I be thinking that about my husband. Like, we ain't got nothing. I mean, he's provided a nice life for us, but I was like, it's probably some chicks out there just plotting, or some family out there just plotting.
It's not about what you have; it's about what you appear to have and what they think you have.
And he take care of us and stuff, but it's like, girl, we ain't balling.
It's not about that. It's just about what they think you got. So, like, these people, like I said, he was a Vietnam vet, so he's way older. These people were all adults, and they knew of my existence. Nobody ever reached out to me to get to know me. That wasn't my job as a child.
No.
I was a child. That wasn't my job. So I don't know you because you, So, come on. It's just now.
With my dad's side of the family, it was like, I was telling one of my cousins on that side, and we had met the year before my dad passed away. I went to go visit him, and that's when we had met. And so I bonded with her and her siblings and stuff, and we kept in touch throughout the years. But I was telling her recently, like, I grew up feeling unloved and unwanted from that side of the family, and And I think for years he was lying to them about the true nature of his relationship with me. And then after a while, it was like, it was evident, but it was like, y'all ain't know that. Like, you couldn't tell this dude was just lying. Like, he never got nothing to say about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only so much you can say when you haven't talked to someone. Oh, they doing good. That's all you can say when you talk to somebody all the time. But anyway, I used to be like, nobody really reached out to me. It's only been a handful of times. I remember, like, that particular cousin, her mom reached out to me. She made a scrapbook of her family. So I got to know them through this scrapbook, and then I met them. And then I remember meeting my grandpa, like maybe middle school and stuff, but like it wasn't really a lot of reaching out to me when I was a kid. So I was just like, and my mama told me she would do, like, when I would make pictures, she would send pictures to my grandmother and, you know, drawings and this and that. When Christmas stuff would come, she would have me call up, you know, that type of thing. But like, when I got old enough to be like, oh, I want to talk to Aunt Sweepy, who's my mama's older sister. Oh, I want to buy a present for Aunt China, who's my mama's sister. At that point, I'm talking about people who I have a relationship with and who have a relationship with me. So at that point, she was like, she was done. She wasn't, you know, forcing me or making me call them, because at that point I was able to say, I want to see my cousin Maya on my mama's side because I have a relationship with them.
When you're a child, it's the adult's job to reach out. It's the adult's job in your life to facilitate that, because you're a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and if they see, sometimes your parents in that instance, like, they could be being protective because they know they're really not fooling with you like that, but they're not going to tell you that,
right,
you know, or whatever. So that may have been, you know, I don't know. It was a cluster F. It just really was.
I remember you being really stressed out and sad during that time period.
Yo, worst time ever. Yeah. Worst.
What change it real quick. What's been good? What's been going on that's good for you this week or just during this time period? Because we haven't really talked in a long time.
Well, I got sick.
No.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you how it came out. I got sick. I wasn't feeling very well, and due to everything that's going on, of course, I have to go to the doctor because you don't know what's what these days. You can have a headache and you can have coronavirus. Yeah, because the symptoms are so wide. So I wasn't feeling the best. So I took off, and I was like, oh shoot. I took off a day because I really wasn't feeling good, and I was like, oh well, let me call my doctor because just you don't know, you know. And then I still have to go to work, so I'm around people, and I have been around known positive cases.
You're in a congregate setting, that's what they call it.
Yeah, I mean, congregate setting. That, and I've been around known positive cases, and I knew it. So you can't be too careful, especially if you're not feeling well. So I called and basically
COVID, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I had to be tested. It was not fun. But of course, you know, you can't go back to work until you get, you find out what's going on, whether you have it or not or whatever. Yeah. Turns out I don't. Thank God. Yay. I just was not feeling well, but I started feeling better like the second day, or really like the third day I was off, and I was like, shoot, maybe. But you know, you can be asymptomatic, so I was still kind of worried because I just didn't want to have it. You know, my husband's here. I don't want to get him sick. I'm not trying to spread nothing.
Right.
But the good part of it was that I got some time off. You know,
that's good.
I wasn't feeling well, but I got a mental break, and I was able to start painting again, which I had not done in.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute. The last painting I did was when I found out my friend passed from COVID, and I just kind of
March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, and I just kind of stopped because you just get to a point where you just don't feel like doing nothing. It's just like, you can't.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know, I had to keep telling myself it's okay that you can't right now. I don't know how much I believed it, but
I remember that because I remember you saying something like you couldn't really create anything. And I was like, girl, sit your tail down somewhere. Like, it's okay if you're not creating right now, even though that's who you are. You're a painter, but it's like you have a stressful job and your friend passed away and you're a caretaker. It's okay. Sit your ass down somewhere. It's all right.
It's like I have to remind myself to do that. And I think we all should do that because we put these expectations on ourselves for whatever it is. Like, okay, so you are a wife, all
Mm-hmm.
right, and you are a bonus mom, and
Mm-hmm.
you are a dog mom, and
Right.
you also work, and you're also a creative,
Mm-hmm.
and you're also on the board, you
Right.
know, of this organization. And like, so there are certain expectations that come with it. And sometimes, depending on the environment, we have to release ourselves from that. And I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me. So, you know,
Yeah.
and it's hard. It's hard because we wear so many hats, so when you
Did
feel
you
like you
get
need to
sucked
be
up in the
output.
whole, like when the quarantine first started and you would see on social, like all the, if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill, a new job, a new,
Yeah.
like, did you get sucked up in that? I did.
I read it, but I was like, oh, this for them people who don't have to go to work. Oh, this for those people who at the house and
But
don't
you
have to
can
still
still
go to
work.
work every day and don't have to worry about whether they're going to get it from positive cases at their job. Oh, this is for those people who are getting unemployment and making more than I do, me actually working. So this for them people who don't have to do nothing. Must be nice.
That was for
Can't
me.
do it.
Because like, yeah, because I got laid off. And I was, girl,
Don't
that
apply.
is real. Like, I got my little unemployment at first. It was like 128 or whatever. And I was putting that on my card note. We were still living pretty much the same, but but girl, when that extra $600 kicked in, I said, "This is the most money I've ever made in my life, baby."
You feel me? And I was like, shoot,
Every
that's a come
single
up, and I am happy for
every
those who
week,
get it.
girl,
Yeah.
I was paying that car note, girl. I was buying some groceries and stuff, saving money. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus." But yeah, all that anyway. But I didn't really get sucked into it. Like I saw it and I was like, "Well, dang, maybe I should. Maybe I should." And I was like, "You know what?
Or summer bodies or whatever, like, because you got all the time to work out
But you don't
or
have the gym anymore."
whatever. Like,
So
and they open the gym back up. They taking my money. I'm not going. Y'all can have
really,
that.
I need to cancel mine because I'm at Planet Fitness, but I know the world has decided the pandemic is over. But girl, I'm not going.
I
I'm
got
not
anytime. They don't play about them contracts, so I don't think I can cancel.
girl. Who's your contract with?
Anytime.
Oh, okay. I'm at Planet
Yeah,
Fitness.
they don't play.
They
So
don't.
they're like,
But
whatever.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna get sucked up into that. I'm finna chill. This was the first time I have been without a job, and I was okay in the sense of I didn't get fired or I didn't get or I didn't move or anything like that. Like I just got laid off because of the pandemic, and I had to keep telling myself that, like, girl, you got laid off
That's
because
not your fault.
of the virus. It's not your fault. So I was like, you
Mhm.
know what? This is the first time I don't have a purpose, and I don't have to. I mean, yeah, you want to always keep your skills sharp and stuff, but I was like, I don't have to constantly be updating my resume, cover letter, website. I don't have to be doing this and that. I was like, I'm finna chill. Me and my doggy was chilling all day, girl.
And
It
it's
wasn't.
probably much needed, and I wonder, I hope, I don't, it's not going to happen. And I know it's not going to happen. There needs to be a moment for the people who have been working this whole time. The
Yeah.
people in the grocery stores, the people at the hospitals, the people in law enforcement, the people, who are doing all
You're
of
a
these quote
counselor.
unquote
You're not
essential
ever off.
jobs.
You're a counselor. You're never off.
Never. And I thought, and the thing is that certain people got to be off, and I'll say that, and they were coming in a minimal amount of times a week, but we had to still. We work for a different agency, so we had to still come in every day like normal.
The
When
counselor.
all this stuff could have been, there's a lot of things that could be done from home, you
Yeah.
know. So why not do them from home? And I'm not even just talking about my job. I'm talking about a lot of the other people who are coming in. If it can be done from home, let these people do it from home, because even though you're working, you still, at least you're in the comfort of your own home, and you're not, that anxiety is a real thing. Especially, you don't want to die, especially you had somebody pass, whatever,
Mhm.
especially if there was your friend or in your age range, or even just somebody you knew, whatever, or somebody who got it and it really took them down.
Yeah.
You don't want it. That's like, you're worried about that, and you dang sure don't want to give it to the people you love, that you live with.
Yeah.
So it's real, and there's no hazard pay. There's no, I mean, There was a wall, so I'm sorry. It was out. I was trying to make sure it wasn't inside. Um, there's no like Brookshires. I think it's Brookshires, Target, Starbucks, Walmart, even Walmart with their treacherous ways. Like even they are like paying their employees like hazard pay. Like there is nothing for the rest of the people who are working. You know, we still out here struggling.
I think
Huh?
I think Larry got some form of a hazardous pay, but it was like, it's like you had to squint to see it. On his
Hmm?
check. I think he got some form of like a hazardous pay.
Oh,
You had to
good.
be like squint your eyes. And
At
that,
least they thought about it.
you know,
Because I guess it depends on the agency or whoever, the company or whatever you work
but
for.
he got something.
My
I don't
husband,
know if it was every month or, with every paycheck, but I remember him talking about it one time. I'm going to say that. So I don't know how
oh,
often he did it, but it was like, I got it. I think it was like, he got it and paid for something, like kind of didn't realize it was their type deal, but he got
mhm.
something. So
My husband, he's been able to work from home, which is a blessing. He's been working from home this whole time,
that's
and
good.
they got, I think they got hazard pay, and they gave them 40 hours
What?
to use as they saw fit.
What?
So yeah,
Working from
40
home,
hours.
hazardous pay and 40 hours? That's what's
It's just
up.
like 40 hours just goes into your time bank. So if you need to take off, you can take off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will say that the place I work for, they give you like when everything first happened and they shut the school down, they give you 14 days of pay if you couldn't find a caregiver to do
Okay.
it. Or if you get diagnosed with it, like if you test positive, you can get up to 14 days. Or if you are caring for somebody who is positive, you can get 14 days, but it's not full pay.
So
Mm,
if you're caring for somebody, it's not full pay.
mm.
How is that any different from like when
I
you
don't know.
have a caretaker for your kids or
I don't know.
but I'm gonna say this and it's ever since my grandmother passed away, it's been times that I've been like, you know what, I miss her. I don't feel like she's not. I feel like I just haven't talked to her in a long time. But like I miss her. I would love for her to be here. But at the same time, I'd be like, you know what? I'm glad she's with the Lord right now. My grandmother she lived in Helena, Arkansas. That's right there on the Mississippi River. So anytime it flooded, anytime there was tornadoes or up there, I was worried. Her and her sisters, the ones that they're still living, they still live in the same neighborhood, worried about that. Whenever it got real hot, now my auntie, my uncle, they kept my grandmother's house up. I didn't have to worry about her electricity or her dying of heat stroke, but it's still like it's hot outside.
Yeah.
And then even when COVID came, I was talking to my friend Sharice. Her grandmother passed away a year or two ago. And I said, girl, I'm kind of happy our grandmothers are gone. Like, I'm not happy they gone, but it's like we wouldn't even be able to see them right now. Like, I would be worried nonstop. And worry ain't going to do nothing but harm yourself. But it's like, I'd be worried nonstop if they were still here during
I
all this.
haven't hugged my mama in months. Months.
Because you take care of your mom. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I haven't been able to go inside her house in months.
So like, how is she do? Like, how is she doing? Because was it like a mild stroke she had some years ago?
She has a series of small strokes, or what they call like they think they're cluster strokes.
Okay.
She actually just went back to the neurologist, and she might end up having to have surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully not. We gotta. I think she's gonna get another MRI, and we're gonna see. Hopefully she doesn't. But she has early onset dementia.
Oh my God,
So
I did not know that.
yeah, and she got arthritis, so she can't do her hair very well. Like so, it's stuff she can't do for herself
So
very well all
you
the
were
time.
full on. I knew you would take care of your mom, but like I didn't realize it was to that extent. I knew she had some medical things, but I didn't know like that. So
Like
you
me and
had
my sister were on a schedule.
passed away, and your mom. You
So
have
and I can't do stuff for her like I normally would, like so I can't really go and help her with her hair. Like I can't really go and do things. So what I have been doing is like I'll order her things from Prime. Like she really likes puzzles. And
mm-hmm.
now I got her into some word searches. So I will randomly
Like
get things delivered. I've also been writing her letters. So we have been
like
going back
hand
and forth. Yeah, like handwritten letters, which I think is dope because it's something I can keep and it's something she can keep.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and refer back to when she doesn't remember certain
I need to write
things.
my little niece some letters.
You should. You should.
Yes.
And I just been asking her about like, oh, what was grandma like? My grandma passed when I was like really young. And I remember her, but I didn't know her before she had strokes. She had cluster strokes too. She was like paralyzed. She couldn't really talk very well. So I didn't know my grandma. I don't remember her prior to the strokes. So I'm asking her about childhood, you know, life in Chicago, you know, this is where we're like from. You know, what did you do around this time? You know, just things that I can have. And because again, early onset dementia, I'm not going to be able to ask her these things later.
Yeah.
I can, some of the stuff she don't remember now.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, and writing is good exercise for her. So
I think writing is good exercise for everybody because I said on my last episode that girl, spell check has messed me up. I can't spell anything and I need to start writing. Like I don't really, there's some letters I cannot write in cursive anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Like I can sign my name, but like I had to practice that year, the year and a half I was engaged. I had to practice Davenport because all I knew how to spell was my maiden name. You know, I didn't even then like I keep my middle name and I put that on everything now, my first, middle, and my married name. But some things I had, and then like I never changed. I changed my last name, meaning I added my husband's name. I didn't take my maiden name off. So something's like when you go vote, you have to sign your whole legal name. So I have to sign 4 names. And I'd be like, how you do? Girl, I be practicing. And then also like just like my vocabulary, I worked a job where I didn't have to do a lot of thinking. And I say all the time, I got dumb as fuck working there. And so like my vocabulary has gone down and everything. I'm for real.
Oh my God. Well, I can see that, you know, you don't use it, you lose it, which is a big part of why I'm writing my mama.
Yeah.
You know, because I can see like from the first letter we wrote, I can see a difference from the first letter that she wrote me back to the one she writes me now. And it's not like oh my God, it's completely and totally different. But there's a train of thought. Like the first letter, it was like sporadic, random notes. And now there's getting some order to it. You know? So, and again, it's not like 100% perfect or anything like that, but it's, you know, you're working, it's an exercise. It's like a mental exercise. So she's, you know, doing that. We got to, I think we need to write. We do need to write. Everybody needs to write. And if you are at home and you got some downtime, write people a letter, send them a little card, go, you know, order you some blank cards from Michael's, which is what I did, and just write a couple people. It's nice to get a letter from somebody you love.
It is. It really is
nice, especially when you don't know it's coming.
It's
just
very,
like, oh, what's this? And it's handwritten, and it's, you know,
my handwriting is horrible. And then I write in all caps.
So you yelling at people.
And it's loopy. Yes, it's all caps and loopy. I have horrible handwriting. But I will say this. I have started back working. I've been back working for like a week or 2 now, so I'm happy about that. And I remember when my job called me back to work, my husband was like, is that a good thing? And I was like, well, yeah, you know, I'm not going to be bringing in, well, close to what I was with my unemployment plus the additional $600. I am doing close to that now. But I was like, that unemployment, we don't know how long that stuff is going to last. It's not going to last. December. It's not going to last. Any type of unemployment.
We don't have the money. We don't have the money, but they extended it to December. But after that, now the people gonna be on there
forever. And definitely that extra $600. So I was like, I will gladly stop taking this unemployment to go back to a job. Okay, especially one that, like I said, I didn't get fired. I just got laid off because it wasn't safe for us to be at work. But I was like, I'll gladly go back. And then like I'm working from home, which is even better. And I'm gonna tell you this, Kayshana, like I do not ever want to go back to physically going to a job anymore, having to put on clothes and show up. And I put on clothes when I'm at home, you know, because I need to get my mind right. Even though I'm going to be I'm working at my desk in my office in my home, but I still have some form of getting myself together for the day, but getting up and going somewhere, girl, I don't ever want to do that again. I don't, and I said that a long time ago. And when I was doing some freelance work, I was like, I don't want to work in anybody else's office. I don't want to go and clock in. I just want to go to the gym,
and work.
go to the coffee shop, work, you know what I'm saying? Come home, work, you know, like do my own schedule. And in a sense, I'm able to do that. I try to work long hours Monday through Thursday and have Friday off. But girl, yeah, I don't ever want to have to go to work. I just want to get up and go in my living room or get up and
I
go.
would love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I would absolutely love that, because even when I do go to work, I stay in my office. I stay to myself because there's too many shenanigans going on. So I stay in my office. I've curated my office in such a way that it is a place that I want to actually be.
that's what my office used to be in my last job.
So like it is nice. I don't
Cool.
use fluorescent lights in there. Them lights off. I'm blessed to have a really nice window where I don't need the light.
That's how I was too.
I got my plants.
My lights
You
off, and I just had that big window open all the time.
Just it's me, the sunlight, my plants, my crystals, my tapestries, my things, and I have it set up to where I want to be in there. It smells nice,
Right.
you know.
You know, I used to have my little
Positive energy.
my little oils going off in my office.
See, I can't, but it's just.
I used to have that whole second floor smelling good. That's all me. It was me. People like, oh, Erin, what you got?
You know, it's the vibe. My office is the vibe. You know, like because you gotta have, if you're gonna be in there for all day or whatever, you might as well make it somewhere you actually want to.
Once again, your job is stressful. Being a counselor at the facility that you're at, it is stressful.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
But I will say this though, like I had absolutely, like of course you didn't feel this because you still had a schedule. You were going to work during this time, but like I thought when I was quarantined, that I would just be like, oh, I don't have to go to work. Girl, this time I'm about to be writing nonstop because like I secretly want to be some form of a writer, not necessarily a blogger, but you know, like I do want to write. What I want to write, I don't know yet, but I feel it in me. I feel me writing. I'm like, I can write. I can see if I can read all my little stuff. I can do all my little training courses that I've been wanting to do. Girl, I didn't do a damn thing. All I was doing was eating cereal all day. I promise you, I was out here like I was in middle school. Like I was on summer vacation in the 7th grade. Like that's how it was. Me and Ragnar was big chilling. We was walking through all the parks in Monroe.
But you needed it.
And coming home and like taking naps and watching Living Single all day. Like that's not waiting for Larry to come home. Like what you been doing? Girl, I've been calling people like, girl, what you doing? Oh, well, I'm working. Work? What day is it? Oh, well, girl, call me back. That was me. And I was like, I really thought I was going to be out here just like popping with I just got all this time to create and stuff. I even started painting. I started doing that, but like I didn't do it as much as I thought I would. It took me having to go back to work, having to be at work to do all the things that I wanted to do. And I was like, I don't understand why. Because I always thought whenever I was working or in school, once I'm done working or once I'm done with school or whenever I just have time, I can't wait till I have time to just do all the stuff that I want to do, to read the books I want to read, to write all the little short stories, children books and stuff that I want to write, to record audio books because I want to do that type of stuff. You know, like I thought I've always been like that. And now I have like a whole month and a half, 2 months of just being like free. And girl, I ain't do a damn thing but lay down.
Because it was needed. Think about like when the last time we had an actual summer vacation since we were kids. We have not. Like you don't get that since college. Like, when you got summer break. Like we don't have that. We don't get that. You intuitively did what was needed. And so you got what you needed. You needed that. And that's okay. I think that kind of goes back to what you were saying, like when they had all those memes talking about if you don't come out of this with a 6-pack and with a big booty and with a business, a side hustle.
Yeah.
You know, then you ain't shit. Like, no, you knew what you needed, and what you needed was walks in the park. What you needed was to be in the sun. What you needed was to spend time with your husband and your pup. You know, you needed that. You needed to eat cereal and watch Living Single. You needed to laugh. You needed to do all of those things.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
like,
okay.
it just took me going back to work. Like I even pulled out my calendar. I used to talk about it a lot. My Christian calendar I got from my friend's pastor, and I would just plan out my week, and I would plan out like my radio show when I was radio. I have not back radio hosting yet. I need to call them and be like, "Yo, I'm still here. Like, what's the deal?" But playing out my radio topics, playing out my podcast stuff. I plan out what I wanted to do for the week as far as like my spiritually and things like that. Because the type of calendar it was, it had a Christian base. It had, so everything was like, what are you going to do for God? What are you going to do for yourself? What are you going to do for your community? Like scriptures and stuff to focus on. So that's how it was. But like, it took me going back to work to be like, I need to find some time to do all the stuff I want to do. And I was like, Erin, what the duck? You had 2 months to do all this fun stuff. And now you're trying to cram all the stuff you want to do in your 2-3 hour lunch break. Because I work split shift. So I could work, long hours and stuff and be off on Friday. But it's like, what? Anyway, I'm not complaining. But it was just like, girl.
Sometimes you got to get the momentum going.
Yeah.
And so that's probably why all of that stuff popped up when you went back to work. Because that's when your momentum started back.
Yeah. And it probably was like, gave me a reason to work towards the things I want to do. Because it's like, if you had a job you don't like every day, you're going to go home and spice up that resume. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like your weight, then you gonna get it. You gonna get in the gym. I don't want to say weight because it's not weight for everybody. But if you just want to feel better about your body, whatever it is, you gonna get in the gym or you gonna eat the spinach because you got a reason. Mm-hmm. But so I guess that's what it was. My job that I have now is not a bad job. It's really cool. I get paid nicely. It's full time. Like it's not a bad job. I like it, but it's still like you ultimately want to do some things on your own. I don't mind having a 9 to 5. I'm cool with sitting back and getting that easy money and still working my own personal stuff on the side. I don't have no problem with that.
I don't think I'm supposed to.
Business off the ground. I said, you're not quitting your job. That's just
I was thinking about that. Like as of lately, I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to work for anybody. And I'm very good at what I do. And not just because I say so, but because I'm told that. And I just am. And it's not being a turd about it. Like these facts, I'm good at what I do. I do these things very well. But I don't think I'm supposed to work for anybody. I think ultimately I'm not
for anybody either. And I've heard that before when I was young. I was like, I don't get it. What do you mean I'm not supposed? I didn't see myself like that. And now that I'm older, I'm just like, you know what? My old mentor was right. I don't need to work. But there's also maybe the type of people you work for.
Yes, but if it's I'm not going to say every job, but there's going to be something. There's always going to be something or somebody or something, but if it's like things that are reoccurring, and it's not even just with jobs, but like just these things in life, if you have an area, like maybe it's just not for you. If it's like almost the same thing in every situation, then it's probably not them. It's just you. It's you. Whether it's like you feeling like you're not supposed to work for anybody or, whatever. If you start noticing patterns, like you need to pay attention to it and be like, yo, so.
I will say this. I will say this, like this job, the work I'm doing now, it's I still work with the same company I was working with before the pandemic. We're just doing different work. But it's a laid back job. I don't have to creatively think. So it's not like it's a marketing job or those type of jobs, but I do have to critically think. Mm-hmm. But it's like it leaves room for me to do my creative work at home, whether it be with our organization, Black Creative Circle of North Louisiana, whether it be whatever my husband wants to do, whether it be with my podcast and radio stuff, or even my random painting I've been doing. Like it leaves room for me to do that.
That's important.
So now that I don't have a stressful job and I don't work in a stressful environment and things like that, hostile environment anymore, like I'm still in a place where it's like it's giving me the means to go out and do all that stuff, and I'm not dog tired.
And it leaves you the mental bandwidth. Like my job is not very physically demanding. It can be sometimes, but it's not very, if you're lucky, it's not very physically demanding. It's very mentally draining. So when I get home, I don't have anything for anybody. Yeah. Especially if, let's just take it pre-pandemic, especially if it was my day with mama to go see about mama. By the time I get home, I have nothing left. I don't have no conversation left. I don't have nothing left. Let alone like to actually like create something or paint or just anything. I have nothing left. So I've been working on that, and like I think it's gotten a little bit better. Or as the people say, like don't put your ashay in like all in one area. Don't give your job your ashay. Or like that's for your stuff. Like you do what you're supposed to do, but you don't put your. And it's not the same thing as half-assing. I'm not saying half-ass anything. If you're gonna do something, do it well, but you don't have to emotionally invest, which is very hard when you're a counselor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to not, whatever, but if you care about human decency, like it's kind of hard.
Girl, two of my cousins are social workers, very talented, smart women. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. And one of my cousins posted in our family group chat, one of her foster parents, and it was his mugshot, and it was a police officer, and it was his mugshot, and it was a news article. What happened was she had a family of four siblings in this one foster home, and the parents were going to adopt the kids until one of the middle kids, so one of the little girls, said how the man had been molesting her for over a year. And so my cousin was saying after some months of investigations, they got him. He was arrested. And so I was just like, I don't know what to say in situations like that. I was just like, congratulations on the arrest. Like, I don't want to be like, damn, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, congratulations on the arrest. It is. But I was like, congratulations on the arrest. And she's like, yeah, now we're hoping for a conviction. And I hope that works well in her favor, But I was just sitting here like, how you doing with this? I know there is some good things working with people and working in social service. That hard work does pay off, But then in situations like that, it's like, motherfucker, I trusted you with these goddamn kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my job is literally dealing with that all day. That's not few and far in between. That's literally every day. And you got to be careful, whether it's social services, social work, counseling, whatever. Be careful of vicarious trauma. You got to be careful of that too. Shoot, you got social media. You got to be careful of vicarious trauma because you're exposed to it. Yeah, we are exposed, especially right now with everything that's going on with us.
How do you not want to fight these people though?
Oh no, you do. You do. Okay. You just.
I'm like, how are you not in Walmart and you don't see one of your patients' parents and be like, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up in this soap aisle.
You do, but you can't. You just have to be careful, and that's where mental hygiene or whatever, mental wellness, clarity, all of that stuff, not absorbing things comes into play, which is, again, if you're like a halfway decent person, it can be hard, but it's like a muscle you have to exercise, I guess. Because and I think everybody should do it, like I said, even with social media, because we see so much, we're exposed to so much, again, especially right now. We keep seeing these black bodies and these murders. Like, who else's murder is just constantly, continuously
Girl, I
know. Like, nobody.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, I haven't done any protesting. Not that I'm not touched and hurt and don't want to give back and bring cause and all that stuff. But like I haven't been out protesting. One, the pandemic, the COVID is still out there. COVID-19 is still out there causing problems. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Monroe had something at City Hall, right?
It was at the Civic Center. It was a protest. It was a march.
Yeah. And then I know Grambling State University and Louisiana Tech, they're like 20 minutes away from each other. They combined and did some things out in Ruston, Louisiana. But like, I haven't been out protesting or anything. Have you?
No, and I'm gonna tell you, it's because I still go to work every day, and it would not be responsible of me to go in a crowd of people where I could have possibly been exposed, because I continuously have to go to work and it's sick people up there. So that wouldn't be right. But other than that, I would have. One thing that I saw on social media, have you noticed this influx of Juneteenth and Black Pride products, these shirts, these things? Watch these companies. These are not Black companies. like for the most part. Some of them
Oh, you
are.
mean like the retail?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, and you know, on Facebook they got the ears or whatever, so they like, oh, she's black. Okay, let's put this Black Pride shirt ad up, you know, whatever. But these companies are not black owned. Not only are they not black owned, you know, they're not ally owned either. So
Yeah.
they're not making any contributions to the movement or anything like that. They were just selling crystal t-shirts or whatever the fuck they were selling before. You know,
Yeah.
you look at the post and then they, you know, now all of a sudden they got these shirts.
Yeah.
But it don't really have nothing to do with
it. Back by the and I made a post about this on Facebook. I don't really talk too much. It's not really controversy. It's everyday life for us Black people. But I don't really talk about the struggles of Black people on social. You know, I talk about it with my friends and things like that. But like, I'm on social media to be talking about like how I'm craving gravy or something. You know what I'm saying? Or like, look at this new plant I bought. Or look at my dog and my husband. You know, that's what I'm on social media for. But I did make a post about being surprised by some of the businesses that
are you really?
this is what surprised me. Who was it? It had to be somebody random. I'm gonna tell you who it was. I think it might have been somebody like Lauren Conrad. You remember LC from Laguna Beach? If it wasn't her, it was somebody like her who had posted about Blackout Tuesday or about Black, and I was just like girl, confused or not? I don't know, confused, but just like, huh? And it wasn't like, I'm not saying that these new people that are new to Black struggles should get the fuck on. I'm not saying that. It was just like, you just expect certain behavior and certain comments and certain things from certain people. It was some people that I follow, brands, podcast hosts, this and that, you know, I expected to see something from them. Like, I listened to Unhappy Hours hosted by Matt Bellassai. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's funny. He's a white gay guy. He's hilarious. I like it. I listen to, when I need a break and I just need to feel airy and have fun, I listen to The Read. I listen to him.
I love The Read.
Yeah, The Read is dope. But I listened to Matt Bellassai. But anyway, like, I expected, I wasn't surprised to see that he was like, you know what? This is fucked up. I haven't said nothing about it before, but white people stop being white. You know, like, he has a whole little segment on his podcast now that's calling him and his producer, who's a white woman. It's like, white people stop being white, and this is going to be our segment in the show to talk about, to not just mention it, but to talk about things that can bring a change. For it to be so it's like, you expect certain people to be like, I'm in this thing, I'm right here with y'all are my friends, like, this is horrible, this is happening here to the Black community and American, blah, blah, you know, you just expect that. But then for some people, you're just like, huh.
You know why? Because the word of the day, the word of the year, I guess, one of the words of the year besides pandemic is performative. Performative art. So no, just performative acts, which means there's no real change. It just looks like you're doing something. There's no real change. You know, come on, like, what is the point? Like, oh, we're gonna do Blackout Tuesday. Oh, we're gonna paint Black Lives Matter, or we're gonna do like this, or we're gonna do that. But you're not really changing anything. Who's on your board? Put us on your board. Hire us.
Right.
Open your purse.
I mean, since you're talking about the board, real quick, board. Don't say it.
No. I'm just saying.
Oh, since you're talking about boards, I didn't even catch this, but okay. So you guys, by now, you know I'm a part of a group, and I helped start a group called Black Creative Circle of North Louisiana. Kayshawn is on the board as well. She's the vice president. So the big thing is, of course, increase the visibility of Black creatives in North Louisiana. One of the ways that we do that is by providing resources to Black creatives, linking Black creatives, having events for Black creatives, but also you can't grow by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So partnering and collabing with other creatives not of color, just other creatives.
Anybody can be a supporter. Like, that's not, anybody. We're really open. You can come to the events and everything.
Our events are for everybody. It's just put on by us because we know we don't take care of ourselves. But you can come through because we are a resource.
Yeah, we welcome it.
Doing all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's for everybody. Speaking of, we have a workshop on Wednesday. I'm gonna bring that up later. But collabing with different art councils and associations and things like that are in the area. And so I just got so excited because our president and friend Vitus hit me up and was like, oh, so-and-so from the Northeast Louisiana Arts Council wants to know if we want to be in the newsletter. So I do the PR stuff. So I was like, hell yeah, send me your information. Like, I'm all for that type of stuff. Let me just I already have a couple write-ups. Let me just kind of compile some of the write-ups to get some things together, because the deadline was like, when I talked to her the next day, it was like I need to send something in within like 2 hours. But Kayshana, I was just like, and then like, Kayshana, you sent me the link because I didn't see the newsletter when it came out. You sent me the link.
That was for that?
Yeah.
Shut up. Yeah. Are you serious?
Yeah. You didn't know that? You didn't know it was in the newsletter?
No. I didn't know that was for that one. I thought it was for like a future one or something. Like, that was it?
Well, yeah, that was it. Yeah. So I just saw, as Kayshana was like, oh, the newsletter's out. Did you see this? And when I saw you text, did you see this? I thought you just meant like our appearance with the newsletter. And so I was like, oh, girl, I didn't see it. Send it to me. And so I looked at it to be like, oh, boom. Yes, there we are. We are in the Northeast Louisiana Arts Council newsletter. And I'm like, that's dope because, like I said, we want to become visible. But in order to be visible, we also have to collab with other people and organizations that are here. And they have to see us other than just a group of Black people. They got to see us as
a community. We're serious.
Talent, serious about what we do, smart about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are actually an asset and stuff. Y'all just don't know about us because we're not in the mix, or y'all don't mix with us, either way. But Kayshana, you said you saw something different. What did you see?
Because I didn't know prior to the email. Okay. I didn't know there was a request. I didn't know that because you're our public, you're our coordinator. So I don't get those things. It wouldn't come to me. So I didn't know that there was a request for that. I had no idea that you participated in it. I didn't know it was that email that you were talking about. I thought it was for like a future thing or whatever. But it was just basically this thing, we are for peaceful protesting and things like that. And we stand with peaceful protesters. We don't condone any violence or anything like that. Cool. The murder was heinous, cool. Here's BCC. And then it had our spill, the thing you wrote, basically what we're about. And things like that, and a link to get in contact. And there was also an introduction of new board members. Who are all white.
Okay. So
and and that's,
and see, I didn't even see that. I just looked at the newsletter to be like, to make sure my stuff was my stuff, because I take whatever I do, I take it seriously. So, so my stuff, our stuff was in the newsletter, and it was how I sent it. Like, there it is. And when you told me, it was like this whole paragraph about
how art heals and how it's supposed to be inclusive and things like that. And you know what? Let me pause, because the board members that were replaced from there were also white. I think there was one person of color. I'm not sure. I'm not going to guess at what her nationality was, but it was one person of color. And maybe in the history there has been, but from what I've seen, there hasn't been. But that doesn't mean that that's just fact, that there has just never been any Black people on the board. I ain't seen none. But
not necessarily Black Lives Matter, but like, yeah.
No, that was never said, ever.
But like, love
never all. Said, that's not going to be said.
Love all, no looting type stuff.
Yes, no violence.
And here are our new white board members. And see, this is the other thing why we created this organization, because I'm not that in tune with the Arts Council here.
There's a need.
The only reason why I know as much as I know about it, which is very little, is because I have friends, you and Vitus and Rodriguez, that are involved more in depthly with the arts councils and stuff like that around here. So So yeah, so I didn't even, it went straight over my head. I was like, oh, and then when you said that, I was like, oh, wait a minute. So they just used us?
It appeared to be that way. It appeared to be that way. And I'm going to say it appeared to be that way because you'll start and you'll say, this murder was bad. We stand with peaceful protesters. We do not condone violence or, the destruction of property or anything like that. Yes, the murder was bad. Art is supposed to bring people together, inclusivity, peace and love everybody, work as a community, which I completely get, and all those things are positive. Of course, it come on now, it's not going to say Black Lives Matter. It's not, but it also didn't say all lives matter either, but yes, it did. But hey, this is this and this, and we also want to take the time to include BCC. And so then it was what you wrote, a link to get to you, and also we want to introduce our new board members. This is what I'm talking about. Like, that's all well and good to, at least they acknowledged it as murder, which I wasn't in that. So thanks, at least. Because a lot of people don't even, they'll say the death. No, it was murder. They said murder because it was, and I know personally, one of the people involved in that is a big supporter of Black Lives Matter. But I'm sure they could not say that. You have to be careful when you're like you have to be careful. You have to be mindful. Where we live. Where we live, who the donors are, where we live, who the supporters are.
Yeah.
Our organization exists for a reason because it's not that many Black people, who are, supporting of the arts or even invited into the rooms of these types, invited to the table or help create the table,
right.
So you do have to be mindful. But I know for a fact that a person involved, she is a big supporter of it because I've seen it and I've seen her speak out about certain things. So it's not that, I think they're, oh no, they don't, some things you just can't say, which I get to an extent because I know what we are. And you said it, but you didn't say it. So, but ultimately, like I say, you can say these things and like I said, Blackout Tuesday or, this hashtag this, hashtag that, or whatever. But if you're not actually including Black people, like actually making it a point to include Black people, then or support, like financially support the movement, then what are you doing? Because just saying this and saying this and saying this, you're not really doing anything, but I know she does, so I'll say that. I know she does. Are you correcting the people? I know you can't say this, but are you correcting people when they say certain things? Are you correcting your counterpart?
That is stuff. That is for real.
The what?
It starts at home.
It does.
It's like that with any and everything. And because there's a couple of things I can't recall at the moment, but like I'll correct my son or my husband on some stuff, and like it really has to start at home. You really have to set the ground rules.
Because it goes for us too. It's for everybody.
For everything. Like, just like any and everything. Any problem in the world, it starts at home. You correct that shit at home, and then it goes out to the streets and stuff.
Are you correcting your loved ones? Like, are you correcting your friends? Like, or are you just LOLing at whatever it is that type these jokes that are not jokes? Are you doing that? That's also doing something too, even though we may not see it in that moment, but that's also action. Performative is like being seen, like, okay, let's do this. And also you can tell when something's performative if now as an afterthought you want to try to include Black people.
Right. And like,
like, don't do that.
Going back to my original point was like I said, I can't remember if it was Elsie, but it was somebody like that. And I was just like, I didn't expect that from you. Not that I thought that this person, whoever it was like a raging, racist or was prejudiced or whatever. But it's like, I just really
No, because it's on. No, and you still didn't get it. It's just on trend. You still didn't get it. She still didn't get nothing. It's just on trend. It was something cute. It was cute. So
right. So like what confirmed, and I put this on Facebook too, what confirmed it for me, the thoughts I had the previous day when I was like, all these brands that I just never, and these people and these influencers that I just see talking about this, like I just didn't expect that from them, you know.
because it's cute, and they know that we're not buying things from people who are not.
But my thought was confirmed the next day when Drew Brees
Yeah.
And I was like, what I was thinking yesterday is exactly, wasn't just something weird, you know, it wasn't just no random feeling in my gut. It was for real. Not saying all these people are like that, but just the feeling of like, some of these people got to be full of it. You know what I'm saying? It was confirmed when Drew Brees said what he said, but then like now he went back on, he's gone on his tour of apologizing, and Shannon Sharp told him to stop. I listen to Shannon Sharp.
That's because he still want people to eat at walk-ons, whatever.
And they are, because my husband said he passed by walk-ons yesterday, and it was like lined up outside. But yeah, he went.
But where do we live though? Where do we live?
He's now educated a little bit better. But I was like, that's it confirmed what I was thinking. Like, this shit is on trend.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. It's something to do.
Just like everything else with Black culture, it's trendy.
Because it shouldn't. Thank you. And you take and take and take and take, and you benefit and benefit and benefit and benefit, and you don't give back. So some people, now let me just, that's not everybody, but that's what's happening a lot. It's like, what are you giving back? Thank you. As I will forever thank my coworker. His name was Ben. I used to work at this other place, and Ben was kind of a hippie. He was real cool, and somebody would say something, and he'd be like, "Thank you for your words." And I used to think that was so rude, and I was like, "Wait, no." Yeah, it was like, but no, that's all they are. They're words. So thank you for your words, because that's all you're giving is your words.
Okay.
You're not giving anything else. Like, thank you for your words.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I mean, thank you for your words. Okay, they're words. Thanks. You know, but we're not getting anything back. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have to be active.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, and then to attempt to even come up with solutions without involving Black people, that doesn't even make sense either.
It don't.
They need to be at the table. They need to be help you putting the legs on the table, as a matter of fact, before anybody even sit down. Like, we need to be a part of, we need to be helping pick the tree. We need to be helping get the wood for it. We need to be involved in every process, because how in the hell can you try to come up with solutions or come up with some sort of plan of action if nobody Black is involved in any of your steps?
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, we're gonna, you know, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's up to white people to fix this. No, it is, but it isn't. You know, we still have to be involved.
Yeah.
You know, we do. That's unfair. Like, we have to be involved. How do we expect them to? They don't know. You know, some people do know. Let's be real. They know what they're doing, but the ones who are trying to be helpful but don't know how to help, how else are they going to know? They have to talk to us. We have to be involved.
Yeah.
You know, we just have to.
So I was talking to my cousin Vernisha. She that's the jewelry maker. So if you follow me on my social, I'm always posting Evolve and Eccentric. That's my cousin.
Beautiful pieces.
I was talking to her the other day because I'm gonna get her to design some pieces for a bracelet for Larry. So it'll be really dope. But anyway, she was telling me how she had made some bracelets, like some crystal bracelets or some beaded bracelets with BLM on them. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And she was saying how, now she's in Little Rock, Arkansas. So she was like, you know, she's going to donate 20% of the proceeds to the Little Rock protesters and stuff. But she was also talking about how she was basically suffering from imposter syndrome. Now, she had already made the pieces and she was going to make a couple more, but she was like, I just don't know. Like, she didn't know how to feel about it. And I was just like, why? Now, my cousin's also very much young. She's like 24 or 5, something like that. And I think when I invited her down to Monroe for our exhibition for the Black Creative Circle exhibition, that was like her first time really kind of being in the mix of other Black people, other Black creatives, like, and she's younger. So it was kind of like, she needed some guidance and direction, just some people to be around. But I was just like, well, why do you feel this way? Like, your bracelets are dope. Like, they cool. There's some beaded bracelets. They got Black Lives Matter, initials on them and stuff. Like, they cool. And you're going to donate proceeds. So, I mean, like, why do you feel like you are being an imposter? Why are you uneasy about it? And she was just like, she didn't want to feel like she was capitalizing on people's hurt, anger, fear. And I was like, well, why do you feel like you are capitalizing? Or why do you feel like you're taking advantage of people? And she was like, well, because she made these bracelets and she's going to sell them. And she made specifically BLM, Black Lives Matter bracelets, and she's selling them. And she was like, I'm just selling this stuff, and I feel like, that's okay. First of all, stop all that. You are not being an imposter, okay? You are not taking advantage of anyone. One, you are a creative person, and how you express yourself is through your creative medium, which happens to be jewelry making, okay? So you're doing what you normally would be doing, okay? You're making jewelry. This is what's going on. Also, art mimics what's going on in society and what's going on around you in most cases. So in majority cases, honestly. So once again, why are you uneasy about this? Second, whatever you're going to make off these beads, you're going to send it to people who are out there protesting. And that's one other thing. She was like, she hasn't been out there protesting.
That's not everybody's job.
Okay, I'm gonna
get not everybody's lane.
So she was like, I'm not out there doing this. And I was like, okay. And I said, your proceeds are going to go to people who are out there on the ground. It's going to go to some protest relief fund in Little Rock. And second, people want to buy merchandise.
It's a sign of solidarity, and you're providing that, and while allowing them to support a Black business,
right?
Well. Exactly. And using your creativity as an outlet, like you said. So,
yes.
You're not one of those people I was talking about on Facebook just popping up who just went and bought a Cricut.
Right.
Brenda in her basement, and now you making Black Lives Matter shirt and Juneteenth shirts, and you have no intentions on donating any proceeds. And you also secretly hate Black people.
Exactly. So that's what I basically broke down to her. And after we talked, she felt better. Like, she had a smile on her face and everything. She was all slumped over, like, I just don't really know. And I was like, girl, get out of here with all of that. But I was like,
you're not using that as a come up.
I said, this is your creative medium. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you are, a jewelry maker, and you are inspired. I said, maybe you should change. I forgot what word she was using. I said, maybe you should change how you say it. Maybe you should say these pieces are inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, or these pieces are influenced by, versus, I forgot what word it was. It was something simple, but I was like, just change to inspired, because you are inspired by what's going on around you, and you made these pieces. I said, if you need to talk about it, then just say that. I was thinking about George Floyd. I was thinking about Breonna. I was thinking about this. And as I was thinking, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you're thinking and stuff, this is what your hands are doing. This is what came out. That's just what it is. That's how you express yourself.
Thinking about Black people because
bracelets. You remember how many people walk around with "What would Jesus do" bracelets? Just cause? You know what I'm saying? Like,
remember those Live Strong bracelets in junior high, them yellow bracelets?
Yeah, like, people want jewelry, and some people want jewelry to reflect how they're feeling at the moment. When I put on my jewelry, it's how am I feeling? Do I feel like big earrings every day? But do I feel like these big old things right here? Do I feel like hoops? People dress based on how they feel and what's going on. They want something to support. They want to tell people how they feeling that day, not verbally saying it, but you can look at their wrist and see what's up with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, people want this type of merchandise. And so you're not taking advantage of people. This is what you do. And then also, she was saying she don't protest. I said, everybody ain't supposed to be out there on the ground in the sun yelling. Like, that's not you. That's not the type of person you are. COVID is out there running around here. Like, there are people who aren't out there on the front lines, but there are people on the side that are passing out oranges.
Yeah,
They're
water
excavating
and things like
water.
that. Like
So they are
everybody has a
supporting
lane.
in their own way. I said, this is your way of protesting. You are creating silent protests. You know what I'm saying? You're creating, pieces of jewelry that speak for itself.
It's solidarity pieces. Well, that's what I feel like it is. It's just something that represents solidarity
Yeah.
with the movement. And like you said, like everybody, that's not everybody's lane. We can't all be outside.
Yeah.
We can't, and that's okay. I hope that people who aren't going to these things don't feel like they're not, as long as you're doing something, whether it's calling attention to something or, correcting things when they need to be corrected, or donating, or like you said, passing out water, or
Yeah.
even if you're not the one to pass out water, say you don't have time, but donate to somebody who is passing out water. Go buy some oranges, go buy some Capri Suns or whatever it is.
Right. Go get some lunch for the babies that are out there, because they out there working.
And give to that, or maybe your lane is holding space for people who need to talk, because we need that too. We need healers. We need people who can allow people to talk these things out. Because like I said, it's layers. This year has been just a turd ball. It's just a shit storm of the clusterfuck. Like we are halfway through, and it is just we are tired. Everyone is tired, and now Black people are really tired. We are exhausted, and we all need to talk. So like, it's just, if it's as simple as allowing your best friend to vent, or somebody else, like, to cry metaphorically on your shoulder because COVID, but it's just holding space for people is also like a thing. It's important.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah. I was like, girl, get out your head. Get out of your head. That's really what it all is. I said, like, I just started painting. My creative medium for the most part is radio, and I don't do it a lot, but my podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's really where I'm at. Photography. I started taking pictures. Last time I took pictures was in February for Black History Parade and stuff. I'll probably take some pictures today. But, I was like, I've been painting pots for whatever reason. Painting's just been calling me for over a year, and I'm just now doing it. And I slipped up. I was talking to myself one day, like I normally do, talking to myself, and I slipped up and called myself a painter to myself, and instantly was like, oh, girl, oh my God, I was embarrassed. Wasn't nobody in the house but Ragnar. He wasn't listening to me. He was chewing on some shit. Like, I slipped up and called myself a painter, and I was like, no. And I had a little bout of imposter syndrome, and I was saying that's because I have friends, you, Vitus, that are actually painters and are very talented and very good. So I'm just thinking my little crap.
Don't do that.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking.
Don't do that.
That's what I was thinking. And I was like, we all go through that. It's okay. I said, but like, you got to get out your head sometimes. And what you're doing is supporting the movement, and you are expressing through your creative medium. That's how you get things off your chest, making jewelry. So you're fine.
And even with this podcast, and even when you go back to the radio station, you're providing just a joy nugget, even if it's just however long this podcast is, like an hour or whatever out of somebody's day that they get to enjoy something. Yeah. Enjoy something, even if it's while they're still working, but they're enjoying something, because I'm not going to say there's not very much to enjoy right now, but if you are trying to be mindful, I'm sure you can find some things, but there's not very much to be overtly joyful about besides waking up in the morning. So, we really just wake up and we're just glad that nobody in our family died today.
Right.
Like we're at that point, the basics, like, so if that you're providing a service yourself, I don't know if you think of it that way, but you are.
No, I don't.
You don't, but you are.
Like I said, when you told me, you were like, what's the next episode? And I was like, girl, you waiting on that? Like, you really are?
Okay, well, I'm a podcast fiend.
And I do have things. I do have some stuff planned. I just haven't done it yet. I don't know what's up. But is that your new painting behind you?
It is.
So if y'all watch this on YouTube, because I'm on every major podcast platform, including YouTube. But if you watch it, you'll see this painting behind Kayshana. And that's your new one, right? The one that you posted about. That's pretty.
Yes, it is. I'm actually in my studio.
That's pretty, friend. I like that. And I'm not saying this because I'm your friend. Because I like to work before I was your friend.
Hey, follow me at Pieces by KHD on Instagram and Pieces by KHD on Facebook, and you can see an accurate depiction of what it looks like, because
It's pretty. I like the colors. It's very light. It's light.
This HP camera is not as light as it looks.
No, I mean,
right
just
now,
like the colors. The colors are very like, I feel airy. Like
it's supposed to. It's called Back in the Day.
What's it called?
Back in the Day.
Back in the Day. Okay.
Okay, so Erykah Badu has a song called Back in the Day. When things because but this does not represent current times. Like, clearly not for me anyway. So I was like, I want to pick some happy colors, quote unquote happy colors.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I wanted to, it reminds me of summertime short sets when I was little, like, but there's also, again, you can't really see
jellies. Jelly sandals.
Yeah, that plastic smell. Like, you can't really see it, but there's a lot of texture on top of that, though. So it's not just like this.
I saw the picture you posted, and I'm familiar with your work. So yeah, it's pretty.
There's like a juxtaposition to it.
And you did that while you were off, when you were.
Yes, I did, and it was needed.
Finally, just kind of like chill.
Finally, and it's not even about time. I had some mental space.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when I get off, I could do things, but like I said, when I get off, I don't have it. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, I just, but we're working on that. Working on finding a delicate balance, because especially, I think another thing I was saying about people who are still working, people don't realize that there's a lot more work too. There's a lot of more changes because of COVID. Not only do we still have to go during a pandemic, there's other responsibilities. There's more responsibilities being added on.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just with me, it's everywhere. The grocery stores, they got to take extra steps. Like, everybody got to take extra steps to do anything if you still have to work. And it's more work, and you still got to be at work for the same amount of time. And you got to, deadlines have not moved. You still have the same deadlines, but more work.
Right.
So, whatever. So,
but
yeah, this is it. I love it. I really like the way it came out. It was pretty touch and go.
It's really pretty. It's pretty big too. Now, I want it to be like a little bit bigger than that, because I want it to be a moon.
Okay.
I don't know what size that is. I'm gonna get K-Shot. I'm going to have an original Pieces by KHD painted in my house at some point. I'm just letting you know. As right now, because I ain't got no money, I'm just gonna share your work on my social.
Well, I appreciate that either way, I mean, I really do. I appreciate it. I'm just glad that people like it. I've gotten a lot of good feedback from it.
Okay, now hold up now. Okay, no, wait. Okay. Y'all, so K-Shana texted me like 11 o'clock last night with some bullshit.
It was
some straight bullshit. Like, okay, an old mentor, basically.
We just gonna say people will like to try to take credit for things that they had no involvement in, and I'll just say that people will do shit like bring you up and then try to pull you down. This is pimp game. Is really what it is. It's a game.
He sent me a screenshot of somebody inboxing her some straight bullshit, and it was awesome. That's real cute what you did. It's cute, but
it looked like something else. It looked real close to something else, but
it looked like it could be a whole lot better. And if you need help, just let me know. But it's cute.
Why would you?
I don't understand that. And I didn't even realize, this person better than I do. And you were like, oh, yeah, this person is mad because they feel like it's very similar to some things.
It is not.
It is actually not, because I know that person in y'all's work look nothing alike. So it's crazy how this person can be like, that looks very similar.
First of all, let's just say
it's cute, but if you need help, let me know.
I can't do that. I can't do what they do. I can't do what Vitus does. No one can really do what another artist does.
No.
Because you just can't. It's like a fingerprint. Even if you try, unless you like going to Paint with a Twist, which is not even the same thing at all.
Right.
Like even in Paint with a Twist, you know how everybody canvas is different. Like y'all all follow the same steps. Y'all all have the same teacher. Everybody's stuff is different because you can't. It's like a fingerprint. It's gonna be something off about it. I'm not gonna say off. It's just gonna be something different.
Yeah.
You know, people just like to. They like to do things and they like to belittle you.
Threaten? Or are they threatened by you?
They very well might be. I don't know why. You know, but I can't see any other reason for you to say the things that you say.
I could not imagine somebody text me and being like, Erin, I heard your last podcast. It was nice. I did a topic like that the other day, but if you need some help on structure, like what the fuck?
Why would you? I'm cool.
So what was the response? The appropriate response for me would have been like, fuck you.
I didn't. The appropriate response for me is to not respond, because whatever I say is not going to be helpful to the situation. And I'm of a belief that, which I do a lot, if I'm pissed off and whatever it is, I ain't gonna say pissed off, but if whatever it is that I'm gonna say is not gonna be helpful to the situation, then I'm just not gonna say it.
I mean, which is the smart thing to do, which is why I messaged our friend Vitus. You hear us talk about a lot, Vitus, and I said, what's an eloquent way to tell somebody fuck off and fuck you? And he was like, don't say nothing. I was like, are you sure about that? Because fuck you sounds like a whole lot better.
Because you can't, because you still have to coexist, especially it's a small community, it's real small, and you know, you have to be mindful of how you handle things, even when somebody is completely and totally in the wrong. Because I feel like if you say that to me, then what are you saying to other people?
Exactly.
Because I've heard you say certain things about somebody else.
Thought on you. That's what it is.
I've heard you say things about somebody else who used to be associated with you. And if you said those things about that person to me, what are you saying about me? And if you're saying in my inbox this, you like this, again, never publicly liked it on social media. Never publicly liked it. But inbox me.
It was like, it's cute.
You know, and will say what you said. And it's like, well, what are you telling other people? Because it came to your attention because somebody said something. You know, oh, this is nice. Or
I'm still over here like I can't believe it, because it's like I probably would have been like, this looks nothing like your work. Thanks, but no, like it, which wouldn't be still good to say, but it's like this looks nothing like yours. Like,
I don't know what you do because I've never really seen you do it. I would have no way of knowing. I have no way of, where am I going to get that from? I've not been to your studio. I've not been to.
You would just never think there's haters in the art community.
No, what do you mean? It's haters in every community.
But when you think of haters, you think like, when you think of haters, what do you think of? You think of like somebody hating me because I'm with their ex-boyfriend or with their ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, you hating on the new girlfriend, you hating on somebody's hair, you hating on somebody. Like when I think of haters, I never would have thought it goes down in the abstract art community.
Yeah, it goes down with the paint be flying, brushes everywhere, fucking playing. Nah.
Watercolors everywhere.
Yes, paint every fucking where, acrylic, oils, linseed, we got you. Nah, but like people, it's
just like what?
Like why? Like what? It's like what would that even look like? Like nah, but people will try to take credit, and people will be threatened. And I didn't even really take it at that, because the first incident that I had with that person, I was like, well, why would they say this? And my best friend Tyra had to bring it to my attention. She's like, but it's because they're threatened by you because you got something, because it's good. And I'm like, well, why do people? Because I never had anybody, especially somebody that you look up to.
Older, this person is older. This person is older in the whole game. This person
is really good at what they do. So I'm looking up.
It's revered in this community. Yeah. Like respected as far as they work. People that know this person be like, I don't really fool with that cat like that. But as far as the work, you can't take nothing away from
You
this
can't
person.
deny it.
So it's like,
It's dope.
so why do you feel the need to come down on somebody who is coming up?
And I didn't even know you like that to not like you at first. I didn't know anybody who knew you like that. The person that I did know, they had nothing but great things to say. I had no kind of feelings, no, nothing like that. This is all just based off my own experience. And she had to tell me, she's like, oh, okay, Shauna, it's because they must see something in you and they scared. And I was like, I don't know why, because we're not, I don't consider myself to be anywhere on the level
Right.
of what that person is, and maybe I should.
Maybe
That's what
you got folks like that. That's like, I don't know who would be a rapper equivalent of this person. Like, I don't know.
Swiss Beats and Migo.
Somebody who was beating Timberland coming down on like.
I don't know. Who's
this is a horrible analogy.
hating on people.
This is a horrible analogy. Somebody feel like an executive director that's coming down on like a level 1 administrator.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why? And then there's room. And again, this is why there's a need for the BCC and why we are, it's important, because there's room.
This person's one of us.
And there's room. So there's enough for everybody. I can't. There's room, and I support everybody. If somebody asks me what kind of paint I use or something like that, some younger artist or whatever, I tell them. Why? Because it's not gonna hurt me. What? They're good. They don't have nothing to do with me.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like how you said, like, somebody hating on clothes or hair or whatever. Just because, Erin, you're beautiful. Just because you're beautiful doesn't mean I'm not. Like, it doesn't work that way. Two things can be true at the same time. Now, granted, there are going to be people with preferences or whatever for your work or your look or hair or whatever.
Yeah.
But two things can still be true at the same time. And what your greatness does not diminish mine. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Everybody don't think like that.
Yeah.
Even that's where you get mean girl syndrome, or I guess mean artist syndrome.
If I ever start to feel a twinge of envy or jealousy, I will be like, whoa, why are you feeling like this? I'll take a step back and be like, what is it about the situation that is making this little small twinge of envy or jealousy pop up? And I have to identify it, and then I deal with it. And then from there, it's like, what
is it?
If it and it's more than like, if it is even something that makes it, because I'm not really a person like that. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not an envious person. We all get a little insecure at times and be like, oh, well, they still glossy of them or whatever. That happens. But if I ever start to feel some form of like, what the fuck? Like, I need to figure out what that is.
That's where self-audits come in.
So that it can be erased and let me deal with whatever feelings I feel. Because whatever it is, it has something to do with me.
That's it. It don't have nothing to do with Shaniqua or Paul or whoever the hell it is.
And then I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna promote you. So I'm gonna like your stuff. I'm gonna do whatever.
Because it's dope.
Do that
because it's fly.
Yeah.
Because it's dope and because it's fly. Just do that. Why can't you just do that? And if you still feel some kind of way in your body or whatever, then just don't say nothing at all and deal with what it is. So, like, if you see, like you said, you see a fine-ass girl walking down the street, she fine. Like, fine. You're like, what you gonna do? I don't hate you. Like, shit, I need to do better. You could just self-audit and be like, oh, shoot, I should do this.
Right.
Or maybe I should do that. Yeah. Like, talk to the people who are where you want to be.
Yeah.
Versus just being like, they probably do this or they probably do this. Oh, ooh, they look like that. Or talk to them. That's how you level up and you achieve your goals. It's like some stuff you'll see and you might feel some kind of way or whatever because you see something you didn't even know you wanted.
Yeah.
Like something you didn't even think about. But like, come on, just do better. 9 times out of 10 is when you feel something and you do that self-audit because you get a twinge or whatever the fuck and you feel yourself being mean for no reason or whatever. It's like, it's really just, you just need to do better. But, like, do better. Y'all had the same amount of time. So you chose to rush out the house this morning, so that's on you. That ain't on her.
Right.
Or like your work or a podcast, like, damn, it's a dope ass podcast. Well, if you spend more time in production,
right,
then it's a solution for just about everything. But I think that's dope that you do self audits. I do that too.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Why do I like this? Why am I feeling this way? I don't know what this emotion is. I don't like it though. I'm like, what is this? Why am I feeling it? Okay, so let's work on this so I can, whatever. But I was thinking about Alice Walker quote. I read it last night. She was basically saying like the biggest thing that people do is give up their power by thinking that they don't have any. So and I think that may be something that I did back then when I'm asking like, why is this person belittling everything I do, or why is this person talking to me like this?
Raw in a sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're still raw in a sense. Like you still needed to grow. And you needed that to grow. So I mean,
and I'm like, I took it,
you had power back then.
As they say, I ate the meat and spit out the bones. I took it for what it was, and I dipped because it was time to dip. It had been time to dip, but I took what I could. I learned. I'm not gonna say took, and I learned my lessons. I learned a lot. I won't say that, but I really did learn a lot. But that doesn't mean just because you learn stuff doesn't mean you have to subject yourself to being treated a certain way for no reason, for somebody else's ego or whatever. And that's really what it is.
So what you got planned for today? I'm going to the mural reveal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm excited. This the mural that's going to be revealed today in downtown Monroe. It's for DJ Star. And if you're anywhere in the South, Louisiana, Texas, probably Mississippi, some areas in Arkansas, you've heard of DJ Star. Like, really dope dude. He passed away early this year, the same day Kobe Bryant passed away. And it was very sudden, very tragic. He was in a car accident. It wasn't like he was out there just texting and stuff. Like, it was just a freak accident. And so there's going to be a mural of him downtown, and I'm really excited about it because our friend Vitus that we always talk about, he actually did it. And then we knew DJ Star, but I'm very good friends with his longtime girlfriend plus mother of his child, Gracie. So I'm be down there supporting her. But I'm really excited about it. Like, has there ever been a mural like this in Monroe?
No, not here. Not here.
Not in Monroe?
No. Okay, so I think we have one. I think Invitus did that one. Don't we have one? We have another one on the south side. Invitus did it. There's one, and I can't remember who it is. It's of a lady, and I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. But it's of a lady. I think it's on the side of the food bank. I'm not sure. Not the food bank. It is a food bank on the south side, I believe. We'll have to ask them. But we only have one, and again, it's over here. We don't have anything downtown. Right. Like as far as like a mural of a person.
And then the place that it's going to be at is like a really dope up and coming like bar, hangout, lounge place, event place. So like it attracts all type of people. I know the lady that owns it. She's a radio host as well. So we work together. So I'm super excited about it. It's going to be live, girl. I already went.
I've never been, so I'm excited to see the venue.
I got
to dress up. Look, why I dressed up to go to Brookshire's yesterday just because.
You did what?
I put on a dress to go to Brookshire's yesterday, like just because. Like I got dressed up because I just had not outside of work. Like I wear clothes to work because it's like business attire, whatever. But I have not dressed up casually in ages.
I would have got me a cute little $10 dress from Rainbow.
Because what is brunch? Like, what is brunch? We don't even know what that is anymore. Is that a word? What is that? Don't remember. A distant memory.
Right. So
what is a mimosa? What is bottomless? What is
bottomless?
What are any of those things? I
What are
don't.
beignets, girl?
What are beignets? Those are things I've heard of them.
What is that?
Like,
What is sitting out on the river? What is that?
yeah, what is that? What is that?
I've heard stories of it, but it's just I just can't quite
Yes.
know what it is.
I've never experienced it myself, but I hear it's a great
Amazing.
thing.
I hear it's amazing.
Oh, I hear it. I hear.
What is shrimp and grits? What is that?
What are those? Indeed, what are those blueberry bite things? Like, because I hear that they're good. Blueberry bread pudding bites. Like,
burger. Like, what is? I've heard these things about it. A burger with an egg on it with bacon. Is that such a thing?
I don't know. I really don't know. Frittata.
What
That sounds Spanish. I don't know what that is.
Frittata. I don't know. It's just I feel like I've been there before, but
It's like that French toast thing that people were saying used to be a thing.
Girl, I just can't wait to get out this weekend. I'm gonna tell you this when I'm down there because they're also gonna have something in the bar area. I'm gonna be down there with my mask on for sure. For sure. I don't
mask on, no future.
I'm down there with hand sanitizer on deck for sure. But yeah. Are you gonna come?
Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna stop by. I'm not gonna stay just because I'm not. Well, I haven't been to work, so I'll be cool. And then I also am negative. I'm a negative, so that's awesome. But I'm not gonna stay. Plus, I don't want to stay. I may bring my camera, take some pictures.
Yeah, I thought I'll bring my camera too. Okay, so I started doing this thing on my last podcast, and I said I was going to keep on doing it. But there's a couple tweets I saw that I felt were retweet worthy. And since they're retweet worthy, I said I would share them, okay? So there's two. The first one is by, her name is Evan Seymour on Twitter, and she says, I don't know who needs to hear this. Be mindful of what you tell the folks you work with. The less most folks know, the better. Anything and everything can be used against you. Friendly and friend aren't synonymous. And I was like, girl, that is so true because I'm such a freaking open book. And I have to learn. I have to make myself not talk to people, especially if I'm cool. Like if I'm cool and we vibing or whatever. But I have to make myself like, don't say anything. Like, don't say nothing. Like, we got new neighbors, and I met the new neighbor the other day. Ragnar was out here barking his ass off. And so I was talking to him, and it was easy to just end up telling somebody your whole life story because he was telling me some stuff about him. And I told him stuff about our family. Nothing out of the ordinary, like us, me and my husband, my dog, and I have a son. And my main reason for saying that was because if you see a random black kid, 180 pounds, 6-foot black kid walking around here.
It's a big kid.
That's my stepson that comes over whenever he feels like it. Don't be alarmed. But that's about it. We went to ULM. We've always lived on the University of Louisiana. We've always lived on this side of town because he's not from here. So I'm like, oh, we always live on this side of town. It's nice, blah, blah, blah. So it was no more than that. But it's so easy to get wrapped up and just start telling folks like your whole life. And it's like, you don't know them people? Who tell them folks your business?
Especially if they're a good listener. That's the game.
You tell me everything. You're gonna tell me everything about him, But I was like, oh, okay, I was gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I felt like that was on point.
But it is on point. It's so funny. There's a situation that happened, and it resulted in several people no longer having a job because of.
Where you work at?
Just be quiet. I ain't gonna say all of that. I know somebody where they work at, and that's what happened. Somebody talked to somebody talked to somebody else, and it resulted in people no longer having jobs.
Yeah.
Not even because it was something that they did at work either. That's the thing. It ain't had nothing to do with at work. Like people
that's a lot.
And also
with what you're doing at work and it affecting your job, like where's that line at?
Like you said, friendships friendly. What was it? She said friendly does not equal
Friendly
friends.
and friend aren't synonymous.
They are not. And two people in the same situation do not a friendship make. That's called a situationship. You can have situationships outside of romance.
Girl, you know what? And that's why, like, I be looking at folks crazy when they ask me about my son's biological mom, and I be in my head like, look, we slept with the same guy, we not friends.
Y'all not enemies either, but you know how to be friends. Like it's
friends. Like, I just married her baby daddy. I don't know. Stop asking me questions. We're cordial.
Well, that's it. That's all you gotta be.
That is it.
That's it. That's all you gotta be.
No, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, y'all cordial and y'all work together on things, and that's it. You know, that's all that's needed. Y'all don't have to be friends. There's no. Sometimes that happens, and that's a bonus. But it's not. You shouldn't go into things with the expectation of nobody owes you that.
Okay, so another tweet I saw that I felt was worthy enough to be retweeted was from Tony Tone from Twitter, and she says, and I retweet a lot of her stuff. She's really dope. But she says, don't be the person who only sees value in people after they've left you because you undervalue them. Learn to appreciate people in the moment, not only after they've endured pain from you.
I think that's good. And a lot of people, everybody needs to hear that, I think.
Yeah. I think I might take that to Instagram, put that in my stories. I think I might do that. And I was like, you know what? That is... a good reminder to stay present, to stay current, and present.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like to be mindful, like just being mindfulness in general, practicing mindfulness and being present with whatever.
You see that like once, like in funerals and shit. Like you wasn't calling Granny, you wasn't calling her. Why you over here crying and stuff, or you didn't even fool with that cousin like that. Y'all been beefed out over something stupid for 10 years. Now you over here
That's
crying.
what I'm saying. Call everybody, text everybody, write everybody.
Yeah.
Right now, it's always been uncertain. Nobody is certain of anything, even prior to this. But write everybody, reach out. If they don't reach back out, fine, cool. You know, we have no control over others' actions. It's something I teach all the time. We can't control what other people do.
Right.
What you did for heart. And genuinely mean it when you reach out. Like, reach out. I ain't saying like reach out to people who like did some like there's trauma involved or whatever.
Yeah.
It's to your detriment. But if it's not, you're like, dang, I really ain't talked to great aunt such and such. Or I really ain't seen, you know, ATO. I really haven't seen, you know, FaceTime. It's nothing to FaceTime somebody. Take an hour out of your day and just do a FaceTime block and just FaceTime everybody. Or Zoom. Zoom is a thing, you know. So communicate. Even if it's just for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Reach out.
So we're at the end. What you got going on? Anything you need to put out there? Any shameless? Oh, you got a podcast coming.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's hear about it real quick. Come on, let's hear about it. Talk about it.
So it's gonna be with me and my best friend Tyra.
Tyra's been on the show before, y'all.
I was gonna say, like, hasn't she?
Or something. She was on an early episode. It was dope. It was her and Jelena. Anyway.
It's in the works. It's called Lavender and Liquor.
Ooh!
So, you know, because again, two things can be true at the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time. You know, lavender, we real, you know, we got the crystal vibe. We like lavender, you know, but we also like to turn up sometimes. So there's things, you know, like we drink, you know,
we're very mellow and calm and like centered, but don't get it twisted because bitch, I be on the Hennessy.
It's like self-care, sips wine, but like
where is the Remy? Okay, as I soak in the
you know, like you can enjoy, as I call it, the children's music because I love the baby. I don't know why he's a trash person from the
really. I don't really listen to the kids.
Oh wow,
crazy because I'm a radio host. Like I know of them, I know things, but I don't just be listening to the kids.
See, like it seeped in, it just seeped into my life, and now my workout list is like the baby, Meg Thee Stallion.
Before the pandemic, I had discovered Mulatto, and I do not like your name, but I was on Mulatto, girl. Right, I was
guilty pleasure. It's like I don't really stand for what you're saying, but like,
girl, like, and then what am my little what is it called? You know what? Why do I have a craving for Whataburger? I think I'm finna ride by Whataburger. What is it? Guilty pleasures. One of my
Yes.
guilty pleasures for the treadmill and the stair machine is Bad Barbie. All my bitches young and bad.
Wait. The little white girl, Catch Me Outside?
Yeah.
No, because first of all, they got me calling this girl Bad Behavior, and I know that's not her name, but she got that H in there for no reason because she just put that H in there because she's stupid. But that one, she's like, white horse, white rims, hi bitch, hi, that's my shit. Guilty.
Like I try to make sure that like my phone isn't up or visible when her song comes on because I want to know that I'm over here.
Shame.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because it's a bop. It's a bop. Again, the baby speaking of bop. But, like, it's a bop, whatever. And it's like, hey, So,
that's what your podcast is going to be.
You can like those things and also meditate. Like, you can like those things and, like, have crystals.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things about self-care and duality and like maybe some current events as well. It's still in the making. Actually, we're supposed to record our first episode tomorrow. So
okay. Well, just let me know when you want the daydreaming to be on there. I'm all for it. I'm all for that shit. And y'all both of y'all gonna have to come back when y'all get it on and popping.
Yes. We would love to. I know, most definitely. So I'm really excited about it.
I'm excited too because I remember you've been talking about this for maybe like 2 years when you first said
something. Yeah, and just never did it. Never got together. Never did it. But I'm working on, like I said, just finding that balance of projects outside of, especially because my day job is so very stressful. Like just making sure I have a life outside.
Yeah.
Of that, and that doesn't involve that as well. So it's important.
I feel a change in the weather for me coming, and I can always tell when something's about to happen to me. I don't know what it is, but I feel the need to get my shit together, and like I feel the need to go ahead and do all the things that I've always wanted to do because I feel like my time is about to be severely limited for some reason. But like,
listen to it.
At the same time, I'm just like, you also need to be getting your shit together. So yeah, you can go over here and play and get painted pots and stuff, but also clean out the guest bathroom. Like it's just like I feel the need to like get my house together, but also like go over there and frolic at the same time.
You need to and listen to it. Listen to it when we have those feelings or whatever. Especially
like women. I was about to be without a job. I knew something was coming.
Do it.
I didn't know it was that, but I knew something was coming.
It was like something like just listen the first time, like and then like when we don't listen to it, of course, whatever happens, and you're like, damn, you should have just listened to yourself. Just trust yourself. That's the ancestors, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, talking to you. But don't do it now. You really listen. So, but. Anyway, I really had fun. Like, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, well, I'm happy. It's some stuff I needed to do a show anyway, and then these are some things that I wanted to talk about. And then, like when we was texting or talking the other day, I was like, "Girl, come on the show. Let's catch up on the show, girl." Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's always a blast.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it really is.
All right. Tell everybody where they can find you and where they can buy your amazing art pieces.
Oh yes. Okay. So on Instagram and Facebook, I am Pieces by KHD. That's my Instagram handle. That's also my business page name, Pieces by KHD. So you can find all my pieces there. I also do photography as well. So I paint and I do photography. Not much photography lately because of, COVID, not trying to be up on people,
Right.
But I may have to figure out a workaround because I had some people inquiring about some things. I'm going to try to see what I can do.
I have to do like some 6 feet stuff. Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe I can figure out.
That wide lens. No, what is it wide? Anyway, use a lens.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay, but yeah, I'm just Pieces by KHD. Kayshana Hall Davis. That's who I am. I'm an artist and a photographer.
All right, people. And hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Love Erin AD. Follow the podcast everywhere you listen to. I'm on all the major podcast platforms and YouTube. Okay, leave a review. Okay, tell Apple, Spotify, YouTube how fabulous I am. Okay,
thumbs up.
And also the podcast is on Facebook, Instagram at A Daydreamers Podcast. I have Twitter too for the podcast. I'm thinking about letting Twitter go for the podcast. I'm thinking about it. I don't really use that as much, the Twitter. Now the Instagram and the Facebook I do, but the Twitter I really don't. But I'll let y'all know when I'll dismantle that if I do. But as of right now, find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at A Daydreamers Podcast. And I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.